Welcome to my studio. I'm Amy Wilson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Paducah, Kentucky, and I am live tonight to share some Stampin' tips and tricks with you using the May 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit, Mountain Majesties. I'm going to go on and transfer you to my work surface and we'll get started. Give me just a minute to get my phone hooked into here, and I'm sorry, it looks like I'm having technical difficulties. Bear with me, but I think we're good. Okay. I'm so sorry. Again, Amy Wilson, welcome to my studio. We're going to do some Stampin' tips and tricks tonight using the May Paper Pumpkin Kit called Mountain Majesties. And in a Paper Pumpkin Kit, you get everything you need to create, in this case, 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. So you get full color instructions, which I love to start by using this page that tells you exactly which parts and pieces you need for all 3 cards. And then you can go on and use the pages that's just dedicated to each card as you create. I love on the back, it gives you a QR code that you can scan and go right to the professional video done by Stampin' Up! And you can create along with that video if you'd like. So in addition to the full color instructions, you get an exclusive photopolymer stamp set. These are the sentiments in this one. And then a Misty Moonlight ink spot. In this case, the colors of ink spots is guaranteed not to repeat in a year. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you collect 12 different colors of ink over a 12-month period of time. And then you have all the adhesives that you need as well. So in this case, we have lots of dimensionals, and then we also have tear and tape, which I really like. So we'll look at how we use both of those. Thank you, Emily. It is a beautiful kit. I agree. So the first card that is designed by the kit, so these are the instructions for the first card, and I wanted to show you it has 5 layers. So layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6 layers. So there are 6 layers, and I got a little bit confused when I was putting the layers together. So I thought it might be helpful to you if you want to take a screenshot of this. I've made some notations on here. So over here on step number 3, the parts and pieces are labeled A, B, C, and D, and it tells you where to put them. But up here, they're not labeled. So I didn't know whether to put dimensionals on the backs or put the tear and tape on the backs or where to put it. So I thought it was important that I label these for you as well. So I put the labels on there. If you want to take a screenshot, you're welcome to. And then I've also made a notation specifically on piece A and C. Both of those are vellum, as I've indicated up here just for my notes. So wherever you place this adhesive, you're going to be able to see it through the front unless it's covered up with something else. So for example, piece A, it's all the way in the back. So unless you put adhesive right in here, you're not going to be able to see any of that. So I wouldn't worry too much about placement on that one. It's appropriately designed here on the instructions. But piece number C, or letter C, it's this piece of vellum here that goes around, it goes all the way across. So these instructions say to put the tear and tape all the way across that piece of vellum. If you do that, you're gonna see it right here. And I don't want you to be able to see your adhesive. So what I did is just on my instructions, I just marked out the vellum on the narrow end. So of course this is flipped up the wrong direction so that you can tell where to put your adhesive. So be mindful of that, but just stop short of where it won't be covered with part D. Okay, so those are a few of my helpful hints on card number 1. I wasn't real sure that I liked the birds in flight stamped on here. That is something that you stamped, but it really turned out I did like it. So again, multiple layers. The little circle here is an indicator that you're using tear and tape here, and the little hexagons are indications of the dimensionals are being used as the adhesive. So that's card number 1. Then card number 2, I had a couple of helpful hints on that. I'm going to start with the sentiment. The sentiment in this case is pre-printed for you, or you can stamp a sentiment on the white piece, on the white label that's included. Now, with the instructions, the label looks like this. So they have taken the pre-printed sentiment and they've offset it on this big piece of white and put it on their card front. And I didn't like that as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I liked the sentiment just being matted. And that's probably the square, flat, symmetrical, monochromatic me. But if you like it better the way it's pictured in the instructions, then by all means, absolutely do that. Multiple layers on this one as well. Now, something that I noticed on this one, there's a vellum layer here, and then a cardstock layer here, and then the tree layer, as well as your sentiment. Well, on that vellum layer, look, all you see is this, okay? But that vellum piece is this big, okay? So you just line it up with the mountains in the back, okay? But no one can see all of this. So I used my paper trimmer and I cut this much of the vellum off to use on a future project. And I haven't decided on that future project yet, but I'll use it on something. So I did leave enough here that you can put your adhesive there and it not be here where it's going to show, okay? Okay, so let me know if you like that tip or want to use that tip. But I'll use that pretty blue vellum somewhere else. So I wanted to share that with you as well. Okay, and then card number 3 is this beautiful mountainous card. So a helpful hint on this particular card is this. You are stamping your sentiment directly on your card base. Okay, there's like a little moon there or sunshine, whichever, probably sun since it looks like a daylight. So because you're stamping directly on your card base, you have 3 card bases. You want to stamp on scrap sheet of paper or something first and then stamp on your card base just to be sure your stamp is inked correctly. You can stamp it straight, all of those things. And I like to clean my photopolymer stamps before I use them so that I get a more crisp image. So give that a try. But this card has multiple layers as well. There's 1, 2, 3, and they're all 3 popped up on dimensionals. So decide where you want to do that or not. That gives quite a bit of depth to your card on this end if you choose to do that. It's pretty either way. If you popped 1 or 2 of them up, that'd be fine. Again, this layer is vellum, so be mindful of where you put your adhesive on this layer so that the adhesive is totally covered with this piece. And that way you don't run into the problem of seeing the adhesive on the front side. So those are the 3 card designs in the kit. Again, you get 3 of each of those cards. And then their beautiful envelopes are included. So I'll show you those. This envelope coordinates with our Lost Lagoon cardstock. That's one of the coordinating colors. And then this envelope coordinates with the Misty Moonlight cardstock. So if you want to do something with those. And then this envelope coordinates with our Petal Pink cardstock. So this, while it's a masculine kit, also has some pink in it as well. So what I've done, as I typically do, is when we have a pre-printed envelope that's this pretty, I take the envelope and I use my paper trimmer by Stampin' Up, and I just slice just ever so slightly down each side to remove the edges, and then I can open that envelope up and create with it. So this is what I've created. I did a card front on Lost Lagoon cardstock, and then that's the inside of the card, and then I had enough to line the envelope flap left over, and then I still have this much to design with. This was the back of the envelope. So I used the front of the envelope for the front of the card and then the flap for inside my envelope. And then I used a stamp set called Layered Thoughts, and that's a new stamp set with the new annual catalog. Some great big sentiments, and they kind of stand alone on the card, I think, don't you? So this one's Happy Birthday. But if you wanted to create multiples from this kit, you could use the envelopes and the suggested cardstock that I suggested for you. Questions about that or colors, you can watch the replay of this video or just ask. I'd be happy to share that with you. And then one of the card bases, actually, all three of the card bases are double-sided. Double-sided, I don't know if that's the right word or not. They're printed on the front and the back. Okay, that one is, this one is. So you can do this concept with any of these card bases. So this card base printed on the front of the card and the back of the card, I used that to create two different cards. So I used one of them on Misty Moonlight, and I used just the trees, and instead of just the really straight edge here that's designed to go over to the edge of the card, I just followed along the design here and cut the not straight edge. I added a sentiment and matted it with Misty Moonlight cardstock, and that sentiment came from the stamp set that was offered in the kit. And then I have a cloud cover inside instead of a stark white. So cloud cover is one of our new in colors. So that is one card design that I used from the front of the card. And then the next card I designed, I put it on our new Secret Sea cardstock, and that is another in color with the new annual catalog. And I just let this beautiful back of this card do all the work. And then I just used a sentiment that says just because. And that's from our Blooming Phrases stamp set. And that is a stamp set that's offered in our online exclusive offering of products. So that's on my website. So this card says just because, and that is the front and the back of one of the card designs. Okay, so those are a couple of alternatives as well as this one. Then if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I love to print the what they call is the stamp case insert. So you can purchase stamp cases from me, and then you can insert this insert in it and put your stamps set in there, as well as any leftover parts and pieces you might have from the kit. So that's always an option, and that way you can continue to use this, just store it on your shelf with the rest of your stamp sets and continue to use it throughout the year. I love the happy birthday sentiment in this one, and you mean the world to me. So sweet. Obviously, you can use this as a Father's Day kit if you want, but masculine birthdays, this kit would be fabulous for that. So that's what I wanted to share with you about the May Paper Pumpkin Kit, and I'm going to move the subscription information up here front and center for you in case you are interested in receiving the June Paper Pumpkin Kit. I'm going to tell you what I know about the kit for June. It is called Full of Charm. And I can tell you with great authority that this piece of marketing material does not do this stamp set justice, or this kit justice. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. The envelopes and card bases are decorated with gold foil. There's pre-cut paper pieces and unique sentiment labels. The Stampin' spot is going to be Pretty Peacock in this one. And then it also coordinates with the Floral Charm Suite Collection, which will be part of the online exclusive release for July. So it's not even available yet. So that will be the kit for June. So if you're interested in that, use this information to go to my website and select me as your demonstrator and subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. It's $27 a month plus state sales tax, and shipping is included in that dollar amount. As long as you subscribe by the 10th of the month, you'll get the kit for that month. And then you're always welcome to join me here with Facebook Live. I do this every month just to talk about what might make your creative experience a little bit easier while using your current kit. My next Facebook Live with Paper Pumpkin will be dedicated to the Full of Charm kit for June, and that's on Monday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining me in my studio.